lane is insane.
These people are protesting a bus lane in Burbank. Their concern boils down to one issue. This issue isn't completely unfounded. After all, traffic studies from the city of Burbank found that 22,000 cars drive down this road per day, with a peak of 1,743 cars during the 5 p.m. hour. I definitely understand why the idea of cramming that number of cars into half the amount of space can be a terrifying concept. But if these people are worried about what happens to traffic if we build a bus lane, then they should be terrified of what will happen to traffic if we don't build it. The city of Burbank is currently working on several specific plans. Let's take a look at what they say about housing along the route that will have a bus lane. The Media District specific plan covers this portion down here and is targeting adding 4.6 to 9.3 thousand dwelling units to the area. The Downtown TOD specific plan covers this portion up here and is targeting adding 10 to 17,000 dwelling units to that area. Depending on how many couples move into these units, we could be talking about anywhere from 14 to 50,000 more cars in the city. Cars which could easily end up on Olive Avenue depending on where people want to go. Here's a video of an intersection along Olive. I count 53 cars moving through the intersection in one cycle at 2:30 p.m. We know that the 2 o'clock volume is 89% of the peak hour volume, so let's assume that a peak hour light cycle would see 60 cars moving through in one light cycle. By contrast, here's a picture from when I was on the bus to Pasadena recently. There are 17 people on this bus, so if ridership quadrupled, then one bus going one way with only one lane would carry more passengers through this intersection than all of the cars. But having bus ridership quadruple, that's crazy, right? Or is it? Here's a report analyzing the Orange Line after it was built. People were shocked because the Orange Line was predicted to only have 5,000 to 7,000 boardings per day for the first year. Instead, after only 7 months, the Orange Line achieved 22,000 weekday boardings, a number that was supposed to take 15 years to achieve. When they surveyed riders, they found that only 27.6% of the current riders used to take buses that ran along this route. So why did so many people start taking this bus line? Because they felt that the bus line was now faster, and the trip takes almost the same amount of time whether they go during peak hours or not. These benefits were only achieved by ensuring that the buses did not have to sit in the same traffic as the cars. And it's not like the idea that bus lanes can transport more passengers than car lanes is some crazy new idea. People have known for years that a mixed flow lane can reliably transport about 2,000 passengers per hour, while a bus lane can reliably transport about 9,000. Oh, and just because people love to randomly talk about safety anytime we're having a discussion about streets, can we all take a second to agree that Olive Avenue is currently unsafe? Keep in mind that we're talking about a street which has a speed limit of 35 miles per hour, and yet, when the city performed their traffic study, they also looked at how fast the various cars were driving and found that 52% of the cars were driving faster than the speed limit. Not only that, but the percentage of cars driving 45 miles per hour or faster slowly increases as the night gets later and later. This gets really scary when you remember that Olive connects to downtown, which has lots of bars, so many of these people might be driving home after having a drink or two. So of course, it's no wonder that when the Safer Street Burbanks program set out to figure out which of the handful of streets in Burbank are responsible for most of the injuries, Olive Avenue was one of the streets highlighted. So buses on Olive already see a fair amount of use, and giving them a bus lane could make them more reliable so they attract enough ridership to transport more people than the cars on the street currently do. Even if that doesn't happen for some reason, ridership will still definitely increase simply as a result of all the new people moving to the area in the future who probably don't want to sit in traffic all day. Burbank City Council has a meeting coming up where they will decide if they want to commit to a bus lane on Olive or mixed flow. You already know who will be showing up to protest this change. Strong Towns Burbank has already started an email on your behalf asking City Council for some of these things, but it would be amazing if you could enhance the email with some of your own experiences.